Okay, we do have a question from one of the guys that is watching. So Zach asked, as a single guy, how do you continue to live free? What differences do you have to live with versus what a married guy might have to live with?
Great question, Zach. Um, I think there's an element of being single where it can be easier to feel relationally disconnected, right? If pornography or sexual integrity issues are ultimately about intimacy and intimacy disorder rather than a behavioral issue, um, then as a single guy, I have to be more proactive in pursuing friendships, of reaching out, of connecting with people, of making plans, um, of all of that. Whereas, if I was, and now especially that I live alone, I have to be all the more intentional about finding the fulfillment of my relational needs and connection, and of doing that for some of my single friends as well. I think another challenge yet opportunity is how cool is it to be able to deal with a lot of this stuff before, if God calls me to marriage or you to marriage. um Maybe he doesn't, but how cool is it to experience this without another person that you are constantly hurting because of that behavior, and to get healthy. I think as well, it can allow us to look a lot more holistically at our sexuality, whether we're single for life or married or whatever category we are in. For most of my life, I thought sexuality was just about sex. But then as I started to study the scriptures and understand more, I realized no, sex is not what I do, it's who I am. I'm male, or somebody is female, or um, and then also, uh, there's one point in my life which was so helpful. I listed out, early on recovery, what are all the things that I think will be fulfilled if I were married or if I was having sex all the time or whatnot. And I listed out like affirmation and connection and all of those things. And then I asked God and made a list of how God was fulfilling those needs now through himself, through spiritual fathers, through spiritual mothers, through friends, and just continued to press into that, so much that God was fulfilling and is fulfilling as a single guy.